Boxing fans, have you ever wondered why we don't have a specific source on YouTube that you could go to that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and give you up-to-date boxing news plus the current boxing odds? Well, my team and I behind the scenes over the last few months have been working hard to bring this product to you. It's a brand new 24/7 live stream channel called Boxing News Now. They are sponsoring this video. Go to their YouTube channel right now and become part of YouTube's first ever 24/7 boxing only live stream. What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be taking a closer look at the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning Wednesday night's world title fight at 118 pounds in Japan between Seiya Tsutsumi and Nonito Donaire. Before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? Could you give me a thumbs up if you like this video? Also, find the bell notification button on my channel. Click that so you'll always be notified every time I release a video like this or one of my daily live streams. One more thing, click the link that's pinned in the comment section below to become a member of our Johnny Says Boxing VIP professional betting Discord. You become part of our growing community. It's not just boxing in there. We got MMA, American football, NHL, all things betting. Click that link to learn more. We have a monstrous week ahead of us. If you're paying attention to the channel, we've already released our breakdown, analysis, and prediction of an important fight in the 154-pound division taking place here in Sydney, Australia between Tim Tszyu and Anthony Velasquez. There's fights in the UK. This card takes place in Japan, and in this video we're going to be talking about the main event taking place between Seiya Tsutsumi and Nonito Donaire. In this video I'm going to be breaking down both fighters' careers. We're going to talk a little bit about how they go about their business, and like always, stay tuned to the end of the video. That's where I'll be going over the current Las Vegas odds, and I'll be giving you my prediction and telling you where to put your money. Does anybody have the number to get a hold of the WBA? Who's in charge of the WBA? My confusion is probably just like your confusion. This fight is being heralded as a world title fight for Tsutsumi's WBA strap, but isn't Antonio Vargas the WBA world champion? There's a champion in recess title. There's an interim title, which Donaire has. How in the world could there be two full WBA world champions if Vargas is one and Tsutsumi is one? Those aren't my problems to solve. These are just questions for me to ask. Either way, on paper, this fight is for a WBA world title. The champion is Seiya Tsutsumi. The interim champion is Nonito Donaire. And if Donaire comes out victorious at 43 years old, he will become boxing's oldest world champion. It's crazy to say. I remember watching Donaire decades ago, it seems. He's fought in multiple decades, and he's trying to become a world champion in 3 different decades now with Nonito Donaire in his prime. We know he has one of the best lead hooks in his prime. Is Donaire in his prime? No. We just saw him fight against Andres Campos, an Argentinian fighter, a domestic level Argentinian fighter, and we saw Donaire become successful. He left victorious, and this is what propelled him to this fight. Tsutsumi at 29 years old is in his prime. He's had a few draws. We covered the Dago Higa fight in which it was a back and forth fight. That was a draw. It's an interesting fight. Donaire's going to be the taller guy. He's going to have the longer reach. But you can't get past 43 years old and 29 years old. You can't get past Nonito Donaire not having the reflexes he once had, not having the speed he once had, not having the output he once had. But the one thing he does have is that lead hook. With the Japanese fighter, you're going to get your archetypal modern era Japanese fighter. A guy who wants to slug it out, a guy who's going to be on his front foot, doesn't move his head that much, doesn't slip off the midline as much, is there to get hit. So all in all, things you have to worry about on Donaire's side, I already talked about the age, the lack of speed, the lack of reflexes, the lack of output. On Tsutsumi's side of the things you got to worry about is him walking into that lead hook of Donaire's. If I were Tsutsumi, I would play it safe for a few rounds. I would taste the power early, and then I would take Donaire, the older man, into the mid rounds and late rounds and start pouring it on. We'll see if that's his game plan. If I was his coach, that's exactly what I would do. Right now, let's take a closer look at the living legend, Nonito Donaire, and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Nonito Donaire is 43-8. Of his 43 wins, 28 of them have come by knockout. Of his 8 losses, he's been stopped twice. Out of 1,198 fighters in the world, at bantamweight, he's ranked number 20. He's fought a career total of 320 career pro rounds and carries into the ring a 65% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as the Filipino Flash. And the 43-year-old Filipino fighter is a 5'7" Orthodox fighter with a 69-inch reach. He was born in Taliban, Bohol, Philippines, but calls Las Vegas, Nevada, USA home. We last saw him fight against Andres Campos, 17-2, won via technical decision in the 9th. Santiago, 27-3, lost the decision in the 12th. Inoue, 22-0, got stopped in the 2nd. Gaballo, 24-0, won by stoppage in the 4th. Ubali, 17-0, he stopped him in the 4th. Naoya Inoue, the first time, 18-0, he lost the decision in the 12th. That was back in 2019. Guys, after that decision loss against Inoue, I thought he was done in 2019. After he got stopped a few years later against Inoue in the 2nd, I thought he was done. Every time you write Nonito Donaire off, he comes back. I got to be honest with you. We covered the Andres Campos fight. I picked against him. I was like, there's no way he's going to go in and even take out a domestic level Argentinian fighter. And he won by technical decision in the 9th. This fight against Tsutsumi, will it be his last? Who knows? Will he be able to land that lead hook? Who knows? That is his chance, though. He needs to use his jab. He needs to get active. He needs to not fade. He needs to keep his output up. And he does have a chance. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an exciting fight. There's a lot of drama on this fight. We're potentially looking at, obviously, boxing's oldest world champion. If he could come out on top. And we know we're looking at a future Hall of Famer with Donaire. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at his opponent, Seiya Tsutsumi, and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Tsutsumi is 12-0-3. Of his 12 wins, 8 of them come by knockouts. His only blemishes, if you could call them that, are 3 draws. Out of 1,198 fighters in the world at bantamweight, he's ranked number 2. He's fought a career total of 102 pro rounds and carries into the ring with him a 67% career knockout to win ratio. I don't know if this is his nickname, but it's one of my favorite Instagram names. Punchburger is what his Instagram name is called. The 29-year-old Japanese fighter is a 5'6" Orthodox fighter with a 64-inch reach. He was born in Kumamoto, Japan, but lives in Tokyo, Japan. We last saw him fight Higa, 21-3, draw in the 12th. Takuma Inoue, 20-1, won a UD in the 12th. Nule, 4-1, stopped him in the 4th. And Iguchi, 6-0, won a UD in the 10th. Masuda, 3-0, won a UD in the 10th. With Tsutsumi, he's the younger guy. He's going to be in a disadvantage with his height. He's going to be in a disadvantage with his reach. Donaire has 3 times the professional experience. The advantage is he will have youth, A-side in this fight. It's in his home country of Japan. I think that this fight and the name Nonito Donaire will look great on a resume right now that is kind of lacking big names. So with Tsutsumi, he comes out smart, he comes out patient, he better not rush things, and I think he's going to come out on top. I think he's going to be able to handle the power of Donaire, considering that Donaire is not as fast as he used to be, and his reflexes aren't there. Circle away from that lead hook. These guys are both orthodox fighters. Tsutsumi's going to have the reach disadvantage and the height disadvantage, but he's going to have the output speed and reflexes, and I feel that he should be able to work past that Donaire jab and neutralize the lead hook, work the body, and slowly break down Nonito Donaire, and I totally expect him to turn it on mid to late rounds. It's going to be an interesting storyline leading up, though. Can Donaire land that hook, and will Tsutsumi be able to avoid it and make Donaire drown in those aforementioned mid-rounds? Right now, guys, I'm going to take a closer look at the current Las Vegas odds. I do want to remind everybody, I do live streams every single day. In those live streams, we build our weekly long parlays. We look for our underdogs of the week. Will the dogs be barking? We look for our method of victories, our props of the week. So to catch all of those, join the Discord, watch the live streams. In these edited stats to live videos, you're only going to get my money line prediction. All right, guys, wherever you are in the world, let's pull out our betting apps. The odds are quite interesting. On the money line, you do have Tsutsumi as the favorite. If you put $100 on him, you'll get your money back plus $28. Nonito Donaire is $4.10. Dog, 100 on him gets your money back plus 310 bucks. I'm currently looking at the method of victories, and there's more money coming on Tsutsumi by decision than there is by knockout. And if you like Donaire, the old vet, to become a world champion, the money line, 3-1 underdog, is very tempting to sprinkle. I've heard some guys in my ethos taking Donaire. I'm not one of them. I don't think at 43 years old he's going to be able to handle the undefeated 29-year-old Japanese fighter. I think Tsutsumi's pedigree, I think Tsutsumi's output, I think his volume, I think his youth will be too much. He should be able to withstand that lead hook. His durability, in my opinion, is good enough to take that lead hook, even if Donaire lands it. This isn't a 33-year-old Donaire. I should mention a 33-year-old Donaire I'd bet the house on against Tsutsumi, but that's just not the case. Guys, let me know if you agree this is not an echo chamber. Are we going to see boxing's oldest world champion at the end of the fight with Donaire, or will Tsutsumi remain undefeated? Also, guys, if you haven't watched my breakdown, analysis, and prediction of the main event here in Sydney, Australia, on the same night as this card between Tim Tszyu and Anthony Velasquez, stay tuned to the channel because that's coming up right now.